What's up, everyone? My name is Mistic, and today we are watching the do's and don'ts when you visit America, which is, where I'm from. I am a Southerner. I'm very American, so let's see how true these do's and don'ts actually are. And what is that? Visit America. The don'ts of visiting America. Let's see how accurate this is, and if an American made it or not. Let's see.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Wolters World, and today we're in Mistic, Connecticut, in a beautiful place.
Mystic.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Wolters World, and today we're in Mistic, Connecticut.
They named a city after me. They spelled it wrong, though. That's cool. I share a name almost with a city.
In a beautiful place here in the U.S. And today what we have for you are the don'ts of visiting the U.S. because anywhere you go in the world, there's things you should do, but there's also things you shouldn't do. And this video is going to just cover the U.S. in general, okay? And our first don't for when you visit the U.S. is don't touch the Americans. Look, Americans really like their person.
Do people just touch in each other in other countries? Like, yeah, that feels like common sense. Don't put your hands on someone. We will assume you want to fight us or do something else that will make us want to fight you. So that is that not common sense? Are people super handsy in other countries?
Personal space. It's like they have a bubble around them, and if you get too close to them, they feel very, 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 very uncomfortable. Okay, so
do other people not feel uncomfortable? Like, what do you? Who wants a stranger around them? I don't even want people I know around me, but that's more of a me issue, probably. So
make sure you give them a little distance when you are there, you know, because I know when I go to Italy and Spain and stuff, be like, Mark, how's it going, all this stuff, and my American friends sometimes go, wow, they're really, really affectionate. Like, that's just how it is. Here, space is key. The
especially
second don't I have for
strangers.
you is don't count on public transportation. Look, when we were in China,
what is that? What are those two words combined together? What do those words mean? I've never been on public transportation ever. Like, the closest thing to it you can consider is buses for school field trips that are just for, like my class. And second, when I was younger, middle school, I had to go to therapy, required, and we had a bus that would pick me up from my school, kind of, because we couldn't go there myself some days, but no one else was ever on the bus with us, like no other patients, so neither one of those are really public transportation. So I've only been on the good old car and bike. Like a true American, I have never walked farther than maybe a mile to anywhere, as a true American should. What the fuck is a walkable city?
China, and we were in throughout Europe and South America. We took buses and trains and planes and all kinds
What
of
the
stuff
fuck are those?
to get all over the place because public transport is really developed. Here in the U.S., you cannot count on public transport to get you a lot of places.
It doesn't
yes,
even
in big
exist.
cities like New York and Chicago and stuff like that, you can get around with public transport and it'll take you where you want to go. But a lot of towns, small towns especially, and middle-sized cities, the public transportation networks are not very.
In the South, they do not exist. Do not even try.
very good, and at night sometimes it's not very safe.
Uh huh.
So that is kind of a frustrating thing. So yes, you're going to probably have to rent a car when you come here, okay?
Mhm.
So just have a heads up for that. And that kind of leads into the next
Gotta
don't
be
I have for
qualified
you,
for
is that
that.
is don't underestimate the size of the U.S. The United States, it's, continental
Yeah.
U.S. is like continental Europe. It's huge. I mean, would you think of driving from, oh, I'm going to do, go to from Lisbon to Paris, and then go up to Tallinn, and then head down to Sofia? No, you're like, that is insanely far. It's a
I don't know what any of these funny numbers mean, but like I've seen Europeans talk about traveling and stuff, and like, oh, 40 minutes is so long, buddy. The American daily commute is longer than that one way. I used to go like a 2 hour drive for one of my classes, a 2 hour drive one way weekly to go to a class. And I regularly do about probably an hour drive to go to just basic necessity places like stores and just gyms and stuff. Like apparently like 40 minutes is long to European. To me, I would say like maybe a 4 5 hour long drive one way is a long drive. I've also done like, well, I haven't been the one driving, but I've been on like 12-hour a day uh, car rides, like barely any stops, and like in total it was like a 70 something hour drive across the country. So like I feel like whatever countries he said you wouldn't go from here to here to here, American, we probably would. Maybe not soft Europeans. Yeah, you can drive for a while and hours in Texas and still be in Texas.
same thing when you come to the U.S. I meet a lot of travelers that are like, oh, I'm going to fly into New York, grab a car, drive down to Miami to see
Uh,
Miami Beach, and then head over to L.A. I'm like, dude, you got 2 weeks? You're going to spend the entire time in cars.
uh huh.
The distances here are insane. So what I
Yep.
recommend is picking a region. So, oh, we're going to stay here in New England and see New England. Or we're going to go in the southeast, go to Atlanta and Savannah and Charleston, things like that. Or visit the West Coast. You do that
Or
to get a better idea of
just
the
get
culture there and
flights.
things like
Just
that.
get
But also,
flights.
it's just the logistics things because it's so far between the places. And to go along with that, for Americans, a 3 to 4 hour drive, that's a day trip. Like
Yeah.
my parents live 3 hours away. I will literally get up, go drive, have
Mhm.
lunch with my mom, and then drive back home just
Yeah.
for lunch. 6 hours in the car. No big deal. It's about 7 hours when we start to think, that kind of is a long drive.
Yeah.
And we drive
just
the
fly
entire
sad.
way through. Okay, this isn't like, oh, I must stop every 2 hours and have a 15-minute break. Oh,
Yup.
no, no, no. No, no, no. We drive all the way through,
Yep.
okay?
I
Now,
think
my
during the 12-hour drive, we stopped mainly only just to get gas. Like I did not eat. I do not like public bathrooms, so I did neither one of those things for 12 hours, for basically like 3 days straight. I was fine. I adjusted pretty quickly because
next don't for you when you
not
come
really
here
that
is
long.
don't think that the sticker price is the end price. Look, in the U.S. we have sales tax. I know
Hmm.
other countries they have
I was surprised when I found out some people don't have like post taxes. Like when you pay at the counter, you don't have stuff added. I wish we had that, but we don't. And also, isn't our taxes like different per state, like different percentage? I think, and different items have different percentages and different taxes. It's fun. I love having to do math to buy bread.
VAT, value-added taxes, they're already put into the price of products. So when you see, oh, it's $1 or €1, oh, I only pay €1. In the U.S., it is not like that. We have sales tax, so a certain percentage is added on to that product.
Different.
And the thing is, I cannot tell you what the sales tax will be where you're going to travel because it's different everywhere.
Yeah.
Cities, states, counties, different products have different sales taxes, and some products don't have sales taxes. Some cities don't have sales taxes. Some have 10% sales tax. It can be different anywhere you go. So if you're gonna go get your dollar menu item at a McDonald's or a Culver's or a wherever,
it could be $5.
It's not gonna be $1. Where I live, there's 2 cities right by where I live. One, it's going to be $1.08. The other one, it's going to be $1.09. So be ready for that. And it's not just the sales tax. Also, there could be the tipping on top. And that leads us into
tipping
the
is
fifth
so
don't, and that
stupid.
is, don't forget to tip. Yeah. Look, in the U.S.,
I hate tipping culture so much because the only reason why we do it is because businesses have somehow found a way to make it our responsibility to pay their own to pay their own workers instead of their duty, which so that they get paid less hourly because they expect people to tip, and we have to tip them because they get paid less hourly. Like, it's so stupid. Just get rid of tipping in general and pay your workers a fair price. It's really not that hard. If you can't even pay them minimum wage, because like, let's say, $10, it's probably like $2 for a service worker because factoring and chips and everything. That's what minimum wage is. But it's so stupid. I don't think we should pay 20 extra bucks just so your worker, when you make, millions of dollars off of them, can live a somewhat decent wage. I feel like just take a little bit, like 1% from the shareholders, and you'll probably be able to pay them just maybe minimum wage. Maybe.
You tip 15 to 20% at a sit-down restaurant, okay? Now, McDonald's, stuff like that, no. You don't tip at a fast food place. But if it's a sit-down restaurant where they bring you your food and stuff like that, you will tip them 15 to 20%.
I've seen people tip at a buffet, which makes no sense to me. I've seen people tip at fast food places. Makes no sense to me.
Are in a group of 6 people or more, sometimes they automatically put the gratuity on there, which sometimes can be 18% or something like that. Look, when you come to the U.S., there's a reason why the food is like so affordable. You're like, wow, it's cheap to go out and eat in the U.S. It's because there's...
It is. Maybe fast food is affordable, but restaurants? Those are not affordable. This is probably an older video, but like, they are not affordable. At least not where I am. I would never go eat at a restaurant on my own dime. Even other people's dimes. It's so insane.
Kind of this understanding that the service fees and paying for the workers and the waitresses and stuff like that, that goes on to you, the person eating there, with the tips. So
and
the
not
food
the
and stuff
$1
can
million
be cheaper
company.
when you go out to eat. And I know a lot of people say, I don't believe in tipping, and this tipping isn't the right thing. They should pay their people more.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to pay more for your food, they can do that. But they don't, okay? So tipping is something we do here in the U.S., so do tip that 15 to 20%.
That is such a dumb way to get billionaires out of paying wages. Well, if you want your money to cost more, then maybe they'll work a good wage. Like, you're paying more anyways. Might as well just do it automatically instead of making it a guessing game on how much we're gonna spend.
If you're at a bar and you're buying drinks, you're going to want to tip a couple dollars here and there. Otherwise, the bartender might not be too quick to come back and get you your next drink.
It's so dumb.
So following off of those tips, what you need to realize is our next don't is don't be freaked out by the over-the-top service and free stuff you sometimes get in the U.S. Look,
would get freaked out by that. Also, what free stuff? The only thing I can think of is like free refills or unlimited breadsticks from Garden, whatever the fuck it's called. I've never eaten there, but like, who gets freaked out by free stuff? And also, what free stuff is there other than free refills? Which, like, if you're paying $10 for a drink, you better get free refills. That should be standard.
Because of tipping and commissions and stuff like that, yes, there is a lot of over-the-top service here. But the thing
Like
is, in the
what?
U.S., the people actually are pretty nice, and they want to help people. And sometimes for some travelers, if they come from countries where people don't get a lot of service sometimes, it can be a bit much, so don't freak out about it. Also with that is don't be freaked out with some of the free stuff you get when you go to restaurants. Look, if you go to a restaurant and they bring you bread and water or chips and salsa and all those really good things, that's included in your meal.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're going to be buying something, they're going to give you some free stuff. It might be some bread, it might be a salad, it might be a water, it might be something like that. So don't be like shocked.
They
Like,
aren't
I
really
didn't order
free.
this bread, I didn't order this salad. Oh no, that comes with your meal. Okay. Now the thing is though, you can't just go in and get chips and salsa and walk out. All right.
Well,
you actually have to order some food when you go there. Now my next don't for you is don't smoke cigarettes in the U.S. If you're smoking cigarettes in the U.S., people will look at you like you're trying to kill their baby.
'Cause you
Cigarettes
are.
is like totally verboten. Like people really frown upon it, which is funny because when they talk about marijuana and stuff like that, people don't seem to care as much. But cigarettes,
Well, yeah, because I don't know about that much about weed, but like cigarettes, fuck up your lungs, secondhand smoking and shit. So like, yeah. Also, they just stink. Like, I can't be around anything with cigarette smells because like I have a really strong nose, and I feel so sick of the smell of cigarettes. Also, the smell of marijuana is so awful. Anyone who says you can't smell that shit is lying to you. They both smell awful, but one, you generally don't smell as much because people aren't really doing that out in public, whereas people just smoke anywhere and everywhere they can. So,
oh, you're trying to kill my baby with that cigarette 2 blocks away. So if you do
yeah,
smoke, make sure you try to find a place where you can
with
smoke
the
because a lot
sign,
of restaurants, or pretty much all restaurants, hotels, stuff like that have
good,
smoke free. It's smoke free.
good,
So you have to go like 15 to 20 feet away from
good.
doing things. So that can be something. So I've come here outside my favorite liquor store to give you the next don't. And that is don't try to buy alcohol unless you're 21 or cigarettes unless you're 18 or over
Yep,
in the US. They will not sell them to you. And the thing is, don't
and no
forget your
gambling.
ID because if you look like you're 40 or under, they may ask you for that. And don't get mad at them because if they don't ask, they could get in trouble and get fined. So don't be surprised because we've had friends that have come here, try to buy alcohol, and they're like, sorry, you don't look old enough. Oh, I don't have my ID. Too bad.
Yep.
And the thing is, it's not just the person buying. They might ask anybody with you, so make sure everybody has their ID if they want to buy liquor or they want to buy alcohol or if they want to buy cigarettes. So just FYI on that one.
Yep.
Oh, that's also another don't I have for you is don't bother with a metric system when you come here.
I don't even know what that is.
We don't use meters. We don't use kilometers. We don't use liters.
What the fuck is a kilometer?
Feet, miles, gallons, pounds, things like that. I'll put a
Burger.
conversion chart here to show you. But honestly, you may say, hey, how
Two
far is it to
football
this next
fields.
town? And they'll tell you, oh, it's like 60 miles. You're like, what's that?
Down the
60
road.
miles, it's about 100 kilometers, okay? So just do that because the people here won't get it. I mean, I have people, when I'll tell them, oh, it's 100 meters away, they're like, 100 meters? It's like 100 yards. Oh, okay. So make sure you do know your imperial
I don't
system.
know how far 100 yards is. My measurement is minutes. Like, I'll ask, how far are we from blank? And they'll go, oh, we're on this road. What does that mean? Oh, we're so many miles away. How many minutes is that? How far? How many minutes? How many songs can I sing until we're there? Like, I'm American. I don't even know the measurement system. All I know is time. And the fact that I'm very short. I'm 5'2".
Okay, because
That is
metric,
my
we don't
measurement.
do that so much here.
So my measurement in objects is how does it compare to my body? Is it my hand size? If I lay down, where does it fall on me? That is my measurement system.
Next stone is when you
Is
do come to the
1.5
U.S., there's a
mystics.
couple things you don't talk about, okay? One is gun control, and two is politics.
Shh. Okay. That is such. Everywhere has, stupid people. So.
Because no matter where you are, you will get people on either side of the spectrum and they will have an argument with you. So it's best just to lay off those topics, talk about the weather. Oh, wouldn't it be nicer if it was sunny today and we could go sailing? Yes, that would be much better than discussing gun control.
That is a boring topic. Instead, talk about 9/11. Everyone will enjoy that conversation. I guarantee it. Have that conversation with them instead of weather. Please. Or ask them, is the weather in this state crazy? Is it bipolar? They'll probably have so many stories about that.
Or politics. Just putting that one out there for you right now. Now, my next note for you is don't assume that all the U.S. and all the Americans are the same. Because I know a lot of people say, oh, you're a typical American. Well, it's like saying you're a typical European. Look, the U.S. has all kinds of different cultures, all kinds of different people, all kinds of different topography and scenery and stuff like that. And when you come here, don't assume it's all the same.
With that being said, I am the typical dumb American. I dropped out of college. I dropped out of high school. I am very stupid. I am typical dumb American. I am the living embodiment of how education has failed people.
We'll see regional differences in cuisines and how people treat each other and how everything looks, all kinds of stuff.
Do not let anyone fool you into thinking Southerners are nice. They are not. They will say the rudest, most stuff about certain people as soon as you are not around them. So, Southern hospitality is not real. It is a facade. Do not trust it. Do not think you're safe.
So don't just think there's just one kind of American. They're all fat, slobby guys with ponytails. No, there's actually a lot of skinny people in America too. Not just fat guys like me and my buddy Jeff. There are those. So don't assume it's all the same, all right? So do go out and explore. And that's why I always say is if you're going to come to the U.S., go and explore different regions because you'll get a really different feel. Because going to the southeast and seeing the plantation homes and going to see the southern towns down there versus going to the northwest and Seattle and Portland or going to San Francisco or going to the Midwest with Chicago and Milwaukee, you're going to
have... I'm sorry that the comparison of the South has plantations and the North has these famous towns. Well, we do have a lot of that down here, so fair enough. Fair enough.
A very different feel, which is really a cool thing to do. And you start to understand is, wow, the U.S. does have a lot of different cultures within it, a lot of different feelings when you go around here.
Yeah, the feelings
and
of
following
racism.
on with that, I guess I would say another don't assume there's no culture in the U.S. because there are a lot of cultural centers out there. If you go down to New Orleans, you see a very rich culture there. You go to New York or Boston. Here in New England, you have a very distinct culture. Right? In the Midwest with Chicago, Milwaukee. You go to the West Coast. I mean, there's a lot of different culture here. Historic culture with the Native Americans or more recent culture here. I mean, you have all that here you can really take in. And saying there's no culture in the U.S., it's not really true because there are all these different cultural centers with
cultures from other places,
like Chicago or the Met in New York, the Getty in LA. There's all kinds of stuff you can see and do when you are here. For a cultural trip, it's not just seeing beautiful landscapes and seascapes like we are here in Connecticut. There's a lot more to it than that. Now, my next don't for you is one that I kind of get a lot of questions about. We actually have a video on this, and then that is, don't think that how are you or how's it going is actually a question. Look, when we say how's it going, how are you, these kind of things in the
Yeah. It's just I don't know why, but people just don't like silence. It's just like a like if you're in a elevator, how are you? Mm, please do not shoot me. Okay, the elevator's open. Okay, bye. Never talk to me again. Like it's just like a okay, you exist. Moving on kind of thing.
US, it's not a question, it's a statement. It's like saying hi. Okay, just take it as a hi. Because a lot of people say this. Everyone asks me how I'm doing. When I try to tell them how I'm feeling, they're like, well, I was just saying, how are you?
Just say good.
Here, how are you is just hi. Think of it that way. It's like in France. Ça va? Ça va. How's it going? How's it going? We're good to go. In Portuguese, tudo bem, everything good. You answer back, tudo bem, everything good. It's just, how are you? How are you? You move on, okay? So don't think it's an actual question, all right? Now, another don't I have for you is don't expect a lot at the fancy hotels. You know, you're thinking, oh, I'm going to pay more money for this hotel. I'm probably going to get nicer stuff, like a nicer...
I have no uh I have no reference on this. I have only stayed at motels and the cheapest of hotels. I don't really have any feedback on this one. I get happy when they have breakfast. I get happy when the bed looks clean and the room doesn't stink. That is luxury to me. When the beds actually feel nice and I don't feel like someone put a hole in the wall with a spy camera. That's how I know the place is nice.
Breakfast, better Wi-Fi. Oh, no, 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 no. For some reason in the US, it seems like the nicer the hotel, the more you have to pay for the things you think would be free, like Wi-Fi and breakfast. So don't feel like you have to stay at the fancy hotels, because honestly, if you're going to be going out and exploring, you just need a couple beds, right? So
13th floor, I've never really noticed that. And I've never been to a hotel that has floors. So maybe that's why. I've never been to a place that actually has more than like 2 floors. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I don't understand why people spend so much money on hotels when realistically all you're there for is sleeping. Like just get a decent bed, move on with it. There's no reason to spend hundreds or really even $100 a night on just a bed, which is probably one of the reasons why I like capsule hotels so much, or I imagine I would. I'll probably use those when I go to Japan because I just need a bed and a place to put my shit. I don't really care about anything beyond that. Anything beyond that is kind of just a waste of money. Like, you really don't need that much room just to be there for a night. Like 8 hours at most. No real reason for that.
Hotels, because honestly, if you're going to be going out and exploring, you just need a couple beds, right? So stay at the hotels in the US, and the cheaper ones will give you free Wi-Fi, free breakfast, all these kind of things, which is really nice. So don't expect that from the fancy hotels. Another don't I have for you is don't skip out on the local food. Look, we're here in New England. We're here in Connecticut. We've been having lobster and clam.
I feel like this is not really a local American thing. It's just if you go to country, eat country food. If you go to Japan, eat Japan food. Go to Canada, eat Canada food. Go to Italy, eat Italian food. Like it's their specialty. Maybe, you know, try it. Maybe crazy concept. Maybe.
And oh my god, the New England clam chowder. Oh, my
Yeah.
tummy is just like more, more. It's fantastic. When I'm in the South, man, Southern fried chicken, mac and cheese, barbecue. Oh my god, the food in the different regions in the
Mac
U.S.
and
are great.
cheese.
So don't just go to chain restaurants. When you go to your hotel, ask them, hey, what's some local restaurants around here? What's some locally owned and operated restaurants so you can go there and check out those places because they really give you a great experience. And I find a lot of
Yum,
times those
yum,
ones actually
yum.
have better service than the chain restaurants because it's a mom and pop place where the owner is the ones helping you out, and that is really kind of a cool thing. Now, my next don't for you is don't get sick. Look, healthcare in the U.S. is insanely.
Yeah, you will go into debt. You will go into massive debt. Don't do anything dumb. Don't eat Taco Bell. I don't know if European stomachs can handle the horrors of Taco Bell and what it does to your stomach. Even I, an American, struggle with the horrors of Taco Bell.
Expensive, and just because you come from another country doesn't mean they're not going to find you for the bill. All
Mhm.
right, so if you're going to be coming here, make sure you get travel insurance or trip insurance, so in case you do get sick or you do break an ankle or you do break an arm or something happens to you, your insurance will cover it. Now, you might have to pay it first and your insurance pays you back, but at least you'll get something back because healthcare here in the U.S. is insanely expensive. Okay,
Yeah,
so make sure you're prepared for that. And I guess
freedom.
my last don't I'm going to have for you is one that people actually got mad at me for when I lived in other countries when I told them the U.S. has 50 states. And they said, no, the U.S. has 52 states. Look, don't think the U.S. has 52 states. The U.S. has 50 states, okay? Just a heads up on that one. I'm sure that people are going to be commenting down below.
I'll be honest. When I was a kid, probably until like a few years ago, I probably, if you asked me, I would have said 51 states because I could have sworn it became 51 for Hawaii. I don't know why I had the idea, but I could have sworn it was 51. Like, even now, I'm still like, oh yeah, 50, not 51. Huh. It still comes to me. I have to think about. Like, I don't know why it's in my head that it. I thought it was 51, but it's still in there. So, what is the reason?
Below that, when I was in school, they told me 52. No, there's 48 on the mainland, and then Alaska and Hawaii are 49 and 50, all right? So, those are our don'ts for visiting the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the don'ts you have for the U.S.? Because I know there's more out there. I just want to get some.
Don't be stupid. Hope that helps.
Some of these out there to help out travelers heading to the U.S. just so we can get things going. Anyway, if you like videos like this, we have stuff on what the don'ts of going to Russia, the don'ts of going to Germany, the don'ts of going to Brazil.
Okay, interesting. Huh. Maybe I'll watch some of their other American videos because, as an American, I can give my full opinion on that and how true or false it is. Uh, my tip for going to the South is don't. Don't. It's not worth it. Actually, don't even come here to America right now. Give it a few years. And maybe even then you might not want to. Yeah. I love being an American. Bye bye.